Welcome to 5 Good Minutes. You're listening to today's inspirational message on the book of Mark with David Bowens.
Mark chapter 16, verse 14 says, Later Jesus appeared to the 11 as they were eating. He rebuked them for their lack of faith and their stubborn refusal to believe those who had seen him after he had risen. So now the 11 disciples are together. Actually, one of them were not with them when Jesus first appeared, and that was Thomas. And so because Thomas missed the first appearance of Jesus, when Thomas showed up and the other 10 disciples said to him, he was just here. We saw him. He is risen. Thomas said to them, unless I see the wounds myself and put my hands in the wounds and my hands in the wound on his side, I will not believe. That was just, as the text says, a stubborn refusal to believe. Stubborn, like they were so hurt, so maybe angry, so much so in dismay, so much so in mourning, and so much pain for the loss of such a powerful loved one, a greatly loved one, their leader, their teacher, their rabbi, the Christ. Because of the pain of the loss of him, they decided they were so in such dismay that he's like, unless I see him, and not only see him, but put my hands in the wounds, I will not believe. That is clearly, I think, and accurately displayed as a stubborn refusal to believe. Yet beautifully, Jesus didn't take offense to it. He actually appeared again and says to Thomas, put your hands in the wounds in my hands and put your hands in the wound in my side. And then Jesus goes on to say to Thomas, you believe because you see, but blessed are those who believe and do not see. You know what? We are the ones living in the context of that statement. We are the ones, if we have a relationship with Jesus Christ, with God through Jesus Christ and Jesus Christ alone, we are the ones who are living in that statement. Blessed are those who believe and do not see. Because we didn't get to see. We didn't live in the time of the life, death, and resurrection of Jesus Christ. Yet we live upon and stand on the faith that we have in the work of Jesus Christ on Calvary's cross. So if we have a relationship with Jesus, we are blessed. Beautiful enough, the text goes on in Mark chapter 16, verses 15. He doesn't just rebuke them for their lack of faith, but he lets them know still that he loves them and has faith in them. He doesn't just discount them because of their failure, which I am so thankful to God for. Mark chapter 16, verse 15 says, he said to them, go into all the world and preach the gospel to all creation. Jesus did not just leave them in their failure. Jesus did not just leave them in their lack of faith. He did rebuke them. He did speak truth to them about their failure, their lack of faith, their stubborn refusal to believe. Yet he still extended grace to them. And he didn't take away the station of the work that he had called them to. He reminded them. He re-encouraged them. He sent them out to go into all the world and to preach the gospel to all creation. Yes, you failed. How many of us feel like this? That we fail, that we struggle, that we stumble, and we find ourselves ashamed and not wanting to continue in the work of the Lord. Yet we see here, right when the disciples failed, when they stumbled, when they had a stubborn refusal to believe what God said he was going to do, what Jesus said he was going to do directly to them, he literally came to them, told them the truth about their failures, yet did not remove them from the work that he called them to. Jesus, the grace of God, is so sufficient for us. It is so much more than we could ever hope for to fully understand. Yet know, if we have a relationship with Jesus Christ, we can trust him to love us in spite of our failures, He didn't remove us from the mission or the work or his desire for us to continue to share, spread, live the gospel in this life just because we don't do it perfectly, or we fail, or we have lack of faith, or we have some stubborn refusals to believe. We can trust in the grace of God for us that calls us to the work of the Lord in this life, that the gospel may continue to be spread in the world.
Thanks for joining us here today. There's a lot of great content to explore on Orchard Hill Plus and on the Orchard Hill main feed from the weekend. Have a great day.